Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about how to get started with content marketing for law firms and how to get results as quickly and as easily as possible. I work with an agency here in Melbourne, Australia. We do a lot of work with law firms, and one of the things that I see consistently is law firms that are producing content but not doing it to the right standard. They're kind of doing it just at a moment's notice, quickly producing articles, thinking that, hey, if we want to get ahead in Google, we need to be producing content at the end of the day. Now, this is not the way to do it. It's kind of like going to the gym and you're just picking up weights and just furiously lifting weights in the hope that you're actually going to turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is really not the case. You want to be doing it with the right processes and the right procedures, and there's ways that I can teach you in this video about how we're going to do that. So let's get started. So the first thing here is that I'm on a website for a lawyer here in Melbourne. They've put together an article on how to get a quick and easy online divorce. So I suppose that they're really targeting online divorce, and they've used a location-specific term in regards to that. Now, I'm not affiliated with this particular law firm. This is not an attack on them by any means. This is just really a way of showcasing what I mean in terms of the type of content that's being produced. So as we can see here, it's a very, very short form article, probably less than 300 words. There's no pictures, there's no title or index. It really doesn't break down the content into subtopics. So what are the different sub areas around divorce online? There's one kind of internal link here, but internal linking is very, very key to any kind of search optimization campaign that you put in place. So you obviously want to do more of it. It's really just not an authoritative piece of content. Someone's going to look at this and probably just have a very high bounce rate. They'll see that, hey, it's not very comprehensive. It's not really answering all the questions that I had about online divorce, and therefore they're going to go back to Google search. Google's going to identify that as well and say, hey, there wasn't a long dwell time here on this page. Therefore, I'm now going to they're going to de-optimize this page and push it lower down the rankings where nobody can find it. So this is an article that we're going to use here to understand the process around creating some better content. So again, I did a quick search here, how to get a divorce online, and there's no article here appearing on the first page. So again, it's a sign that we've created content, but that content doesn't exist on the first page. If it's not on the first page, realistically, you're better off just not having it at all. There's probably some gray area in that statement, but in general, it's probably not serving the purpose that you created it for, if that makes sense. So what I've done here is use a tool called Mangools. This is just a keyword research tool. You can pretty much use any keyword research tool that you want. There's tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, this Mangools tool here. Google has its own keyword research tools. So there's a lot of different tools out there. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. This one is paid. It's not that expensive for a 12-month period, and it's fairly easy to use and can give some good information there. So what I've done is looked at divorce online, and I've set my location here to Australia, which is where I'm based. If you're in the US, set it to the United States just to get as much information as you can. The volume in the US is most likely going to be a lot bigger than what it is here in Australia, but therefore your competition is probably going to be higher as well. And what we can see here is a list of search terms that are coming up. So divorce online, 350 searches per month. We see it has a cost per click of around $3.15 here. This is not super competitive, so it means that there might be some opportunities here to get some easy wins. It's not a guarantee. It just means that people aren't spending as much on it from a paid perspective, and perhaps that impacts how aggressively people are targeting it from an organic perspective. Now, in terms of the breakdown, so we've got some other questions that are getting asked here. How much does online divorce cost? How long does divorce take? Can I check my divorce online? Is it easy to divorce online? So we can start to get an understanding of what the breakdown of our article might look like. So at this point, really just what you want to do is start to take some notes and jot down some potential subtopics that you could write within your overall article about how to divorce online. So these are just the key areas that you need to look at. So have a good look through all of these different areas, figure out what's relevant and applicable, write that down, and let's just create like a very rough index in terms of what this article might be. Now, this is already improving on an article like this because there's really no breakdown here. We've got some dot points, but there's no breakdown or kind of categorization of subtopics. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, what I've done, so I'm a big fan of a tool called Surfer SEO. This is a paid tool. It is a premium tool. It offers a range of different elements to it, from content writing and content assistance to auditing content to AI articles and a range of different things. So the way that I'm currently using it is from an audit perspective. So what I've done here is added in the search term how to get divorced online, and I've put in the article that we've shown at the start of the video here. And basically what this is doing is taking this particular article and seeing how well optimized it is for this particular search term when compared against top ranking articles. And basically it gives you a score. So the score here at the moment is 21, and it's saying that we can improve the content score by at least 47 in order to get, what it sees as a more optimized piece that would justify first page rankings. So we can see us here on the graph where have a score of 21. Currently, there's no ranking associated with it at all. So as far as we're concerned at this point, this article is not ranking at all. And we can see that the piece is ranking on the first page here. For example, number 2 has a score of 77. Number 3 has a score of 62. Number 4 has a score of 78, and so on and so forth. So the average here is around 68. So that's realistically where we're trying to get to. If we can get to 68, then we are going to be appearing, or not appearing, but we are going to be more well optimized than some of these articles that are already on the first page. So that's where we want to use this tool to really understand what's already out there. And rather than just creating content for the sake of creating it, we actually want to use this as the foundation for the level and the target of optimization that we want to hit in order to have a successful content marketing strategy. So I hope that makes sense. Now, as we scroll down, this tool gives a lot of suggestions. Now, not all of these suggestions are things that you need to do. It's not a holy grail. It's something that still needs some human attention to understand, what suggestions you're going to actually implement here. So this really just talks about different words that are being used in these top articles that we're currently not using in our article. So for example, apply for a divorce. We've mentioned it once, but the suggestion here is 2 to 3 times. Things like marriage certificate, we're not mentioning it at all. The suggested is 1 to 3 times. So again, go through all of these words, figure out which ones are most relevant to you and to your article that you're putting together, and start to figure out how you can add those in. Surfer SEO does provide AI articles, which I'm going to show a little bit later in this video, which are going to form the baseline of potentially of how you write and other things like that. You can still write internally, you can still have your lawyers write it. This is going to help them to get to their version 1 more quickly, to be able to spend more time around optimizing than creating, which I'm a big believer. We don't want to spend too much time in creating, we want to spend more time around optimizing and making sure our content is moving towards our goals, which ideally is more rankings, but the outcome of rankings is more traffic, the outcome of traffic is more leads, the outcome of leads is more open cases. So really what we're trying to do is get more open cases, and we're doing that through a number of different sub-steps to get there. In terms of words in the body, so we can see here that we have 343 words, and the top ranking piece here has 4,126. In general, the average is around 2,000. So again, we see that we just have a very small amount of text. Now recently it's come out that long form articles don't always perform better than short form articles. So we need to be really careful around intent. How can we deliver the most relevant piece of information as quickly as possible? However, historically, I have seen higher worded articles perform better. So I would say that always consider digestibility, but long form definitely helps. And we'll see over the next few years about whether short form, more intent-driven content starts to outperform some of those long form pieces. They talk about headings, words in the paragraph, in terms of exact keywords in the title, and a whole range of different things here. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but as you can see, there's quite a large number of suggestions, things like images as well. We haven't got enough images, things like site speed and so forth that happen towards the bottom. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is just a really good tool to point and shoot at an article and really understand about how well optimized it and how you can start to redevelop or optimize that piece moving forward. Now within this tool as well, you can also use the content editor. So there is an editor that you can basically put together content, and it will give you a score as you move through that piece. So I'll just show you an example here. This is a great way to actually write your content in a tool like this, and it's actually going to help score your content as you go. So it's a great way, if you've got a team of lawyers, get them into this tool, have them write their content in it, and it sort of is gamification to some degree. You're trying to create a game out of writing your content, and the aim is to achieve the highest score and the highest level of optimization. So let's go here to this one, for example, what is mediation? We can see that we have a score of 73, and this is our particular article that we've put together here. And this basically says, different words that we could add. So mediation process we could add in, parties involved, a whole range of different things where if it's orange, we most likely haven't met the current requirement. So we can think about how we're going to do that. So this is a really great way to put together content. You don't have to use all the suggestions the tool makes, but it actually provides a process around your legal team putting content together, rather than just saying, hey, throw it together and let's hope for the best. Saying, hey, use this software. The aim is to get a high score and to have a very well optimized article. It may take them a little bit longer to begin with, but the outcome is going to be a much higher grade piece of content at the end of the day. So I hope that makes sense. Now, it also has a way of creating content. So you can see here, you can write yourself or you can write with AI. So prior to this video, I put in some keywords into here with write with AI, and you do need a credit for this. So again, it is a paid service to be able to put this together. But the way that myself and my team use this is to generate ideas really quickly. Again, anytime a human is writing something, there is limitations around their creativity, whether they've had their coffee for the day, what state are they currently in? Are they feeling super creative, or are they feeling more data driven? Where exactly are they in their kind of day-to-day mental state? And that can determine how long a piece of content can take to write. With AI, we can actually avoid a lot of those things. We can get to version 1 or the draft of our article a lot more quickly. And then we can work on optimizing it and spending time to improve the article, to get our values, our experience, our opinions into the piece, which is very, very critical and something that AI is not very good at doing. So basically, this is a screenshot of the article that I put together here. I optimized it around how to get a divorce online. And what it does first is it will come up with an outline. So we can see the outline here is the introduction, eligibility, preparing your documents, creating an account on the Commonwealth Courts portal, filing your application for divorce, sole or joint, serving the divorce papers, court processes and hearings, special circumstances, property settlement, remarrying after divorce, legal advice and support. And it's providing a breakdown of all of that for you. Now, again, you can go through these and actually put in suggestions. So you can highlight terms, you can edit the bullet points, you can delete sections, you can create entirely new sections, anything you need to make sure that it feels relevant. A lot of lawyers are very, very specific about what they want to talk about and what they want to say. And therefore, you may want to spend more time here around the index and the bullet points and so forth that you're going to be writing about, because this will help have less editing time once you get your initial draft of the article. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, the final step here is once you've created that, we can see here that a successful article has been written. We have a score of 93, which is amazing. So we have 93 score, we have 2,000 words, 21 headings, 3 images. Now, as we go through this, we'll see that there's AI images and things like that. This is probably not something you're going to want to add to your final article. It's just saying, hey, these are the amount of images that you need for this to perform effectively, but I want you to replace that with your own images. Maybe you've got some branded images, maybe something that's specific to your style guide that's going to help stand out. These are the things that you can look at. So as we can see with our piece now, we have key takeaways. Intent's really, really important for any kind of organic marketing. We really want to be able to match up the intent. So what are they searching for? What are they really trying to find on the other side of that search? And I'm big about digestibility. So how can we give the information that they want as close to the top of the article as possible? So if somebody doesn't have to read the full 2,000 words, just because we've spent time creating that article and putting as much depth into it as possible, at the end of the day, the user experience and the user doesn't care. They just want to get the information that they want in their head. They want to get an answer to their question as quickly as possible. So this is where things like key takeaways can be really, really valuable. We have the introduction. This is what I'm talking about here in terms of an AI image. So when you post that into your website, make sure you remove that, add your own image, something that's relevant to the article if possible. And yeah, we're just scrolling through here. We can see all the different sections and so forth. So again, you can go through, you can delete any sections, you can recreate them, you can get them to rewrite. We have things like Ask Surfy here, which is the AI integration, and this can also help to rewrite things. So if you feel like, hey, this is not applicable to local state-based regulations, can you please rewrite this to be specific to Melbourne, which is again what our client was initially, not our client, this particular law firm was considering originally. So they wanted to focus on Melbourne and Victoria, so therefore we might need to tailor our article here to be more specific to Melbourne and Victoria. So hopefully that makes sense. So really that's all there is to it. Once you post this, you now have an article that's so much better than the original piece that you had here. If you continue to do this and you have really strong internal linking between your articles, so you want to make sure that you link between all of your relevant articles. So now anytime you mention divorce online in a future article, then you can link through to this particular article here. Again, if you want to rank specific pages, so say you have a service page on your website that's all about online divorce, then anytime you have an article that's talking about online divorce, you want to also link back to that target page. So That's the way that we build topic authority. And this is what we call a topic cluster, where you have a target page and you have your sub-articles. The sub-articles all link between each other and they all link back to your target page. And that's a great way to have an impact. Not only are you going to attract more visitors because you've got more content on your website, you also may have an impact on some of what I call your money pages. These are the pages where you're going to get more leads from. At the end of the day, some blogs can generate leads, but they're not always a lead generation mechanic, just because blogs are often at different stages of the buying life cycle. So we need to treat them a little bit differently in terms of our lead generation process. So hopefully that makes sense. That's just a really quick and easy guide in terms of how you can improve your content marketing strategy as a law firm. And I hope you got some value from this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.